I went to a place today called The Cottage with LJ and the kids. And we were trying to decide where we were going to eat. And they were like, let's go to Little Italy in the Bronx. And then they were like, let's go to Chinatown. And I was like, I was just in Chinatown. I don't want to go to Chinatown. I was just there yesterday. And there was a radish that I was after. I can't remember the name of the radish, but it's this really long, cool radish. And what you do is you pickle the radish. Oh, so good. So I've been really thinking about working out. It's like so strange where I was hating the gym to the point where I didn't like the people there. I didn't like the workers there. I didn't like the machines. I tried 2 or 3 different gyms, even went all the way to getting a month at, what is that fitness place? Lifetime. So there's these chains of very, very amazing gyms where they have Olympic-sized swimming pools in some of them. Some of them even have outdoor water parks for the kids. So you bring your family to this gym. And it's about $350 for 4. 2 kids and 2 adults. It's about $350, $400. They always have deals, and they're always trying to get people in this gym. And at least they want you to sign up for the gym. I don't know if they want the gym packed with everybody who signed up. But we're not going to even get into the politics of these gyms and how they're moving and stuff like that. But, it just, I hated the gym. And I would do pretty good in the gym. My thing has always been running. I would always love to, let's say I always loved biking out on the streets, but in the gym, when I did go to the gym, I would love to jump on the treadmill, and I could just, I would stay on it for 45 minutes. I wouldn't even look down. It'd be like 6.0, 45 minutes. Sometimes I'll jump it up to 8.0. And I'm starting to wonder if me hating the gym had to do with me unable to perform the way I did when I was hardcore in the gym for all those years. And by the way, I worked out with weights from the age of 14 to 29. I've been doing the math a lot lately. Sometimes that number has changed, but it's definitely from around 14 where I would get up every day and just feel like the need to do these push-ups. And I did that for a lot of years. I would do push-ups, so many push-ups that right here, I will never forget that. This part of my hand from, when you're doing the push-up, there's a twisting, and it would peel the skin off right here. And then the skin that grew back was very hard and callous. And I remember from the age of 15, maybe 16, from the age of 16 to 19, this right here on both sides were all callous because I was averaging, 100, 200 push-ups a day, and I was doing them on commercial tiled floor that you would see in hospitals and facilities and things like that. There was no wood underneath that floor. That floor was concrete. On top of the concrete was these commercial tiles, and that commercial tile was not very forgiving on the palms of your hand, especially when you did so many push-ups. And there's a part of me that starts to wonder, me thinking about the gym the way I'm thinking about the gym, is it now because of me losing this weight? I'm losing the weight. My knee has not hurt me. I mean, I find myself almost having a little bit, like a little momentary anxiety, like right before the first step. And then by the time I get that first step, I'm like, yo, dude, you're good, don't worry. So I'm thinking about all the anxiety that I had for all the last 2 years about my knees hurting, especially my right knee, that I was creating some sort of little tiny impulse of stress, a little stress here and there, unbeknownst to me, totally in my subconscious, where now I don't have the knee pain and I can take these steps and I can move. I can go down the stairs with no problems. I don't have to necessarily grab that banister the way I was grabbing the banister for the last couple of years. And and once again, my shoulder has not hurt me in weeks. I don't need to get up the way I get up. Also, I've been able to get up off the toilet and not need to take my little 2 fingertips, nothing crazy, but just a little 2 fingertips here and just make sure I'm up, like for leverage. Didn't even realize I was doing that until recently. Recently, I realized that I am very cautious about the steps that I make. I'm very cautious about the way I move my body. And it's only now that I can move a certain way, my body can move a certain way, that I'm recognizing the fear that I was going through. I was riddled in fear. Just the ideas like making my shoulder tingle, just the thought of that. I find myself, and I go down to Chinatown and I try to get a back massage at least once a month. And I do the reflexology before the back before the back massage. And every time my feet are being done, the person doing my feet, they always go, like, there's a certain part of the foot and they're aware of, and they go, shoulder, very bad, shoulder bad. You need to do like a back massage. So they would always, but they know that I usually go there for a foot massage, and I'll do 45 minutes or an hour. I used to do an hour, but I realized 45 minutes is like perfect. It's like the perfect balance, and then I'll leave, but I'll come back in 2 weeks and then do my feet for 45 minutes and my back for 45 minutes. And I notice I haven't had that need. I am feeling so great. My knees are feeling great. My ankles are feeling great. I am lacing up my sneakers where there is massive bow. There's like a beautiful bow at the end of my sneaker. Come on. It's these little things I never even thought about. While I was putting the little bow on my shoe, I would just do like, and it'll be a little tiny 2 little bows, because my feet were so swollen or so fat. So these fat feet, I should show you the bow. It feels weird. Is my car dirty? I don't want to show you a dirty car. All right, let me move this stuff here. All right, I'm gonna just do it. Put some light so we can see. Maybe if I open the door. The light come on? I open the door? No. Why is the light not coming on? I don't know why I believe that there's a light by my feet. I don't know. There's so much light out here. Let me crack the door open. Hopefully I don't once again abruptly turn off this video. Because this is Gonzo style. Alright, so let's take a look at how much bow I have on my shoe. And it just makes me happy. Take a look at this. Where when I first got these sneakers, I could not wear them. My feet were too fat, but they were a size 13 and the price was like, I can't remember, but they were so good that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get them anyway. I actually bought them. Didn't try them on in the store. I was a little bit like looking at my feet going, oh, my feet are a little swollen, this, that, and the other. Let me just, do that. So I tried them on about 5 months later, and they couldn't fit at all. It was very sad. But now, these shoes fit so well. And I have both. I have so much shoelace. There was no shoelace before. The shoelace, my feet were so swollen that the shoelace, it was so sad. There was no shoelace. Like the shoelace was like a little tiny bow. All my shoes, my leather bottom shoes, all my sneakers, there was barely any bow, and I was not even aware of this. I looked in the mirror and I just looked fine to me. Where now, I look in the mirror and I can see the person that I am. I imagine, I'm the big elephant that's walking with the little mouse. I don't know why that just popped up in my head. And I'm not beating myself up in any way. I'm not doing that. What I am saying is just that I see me. I see me. I haven't seen me in a long time. And let me just tell you this. When I was a kid, I used to watch like the Phil Donahue show and Oprah and other shows of that nature. Maybe even Maury Povich. And they would have people that were anorexic or bulimic. I'm not sure. And these young women, I remember, they would show them a picture of themselves. And when they looked at the picture, they were like, no, I could lose a little more weight right there. Mind you, these women were totally, what's the word, emaciated? They were just so sunken in, rib cage showing, and they're on national television saying like, yo, I think that I need to lose a little more weight. And that's so true. I was looking at a picture, and it was when I went to San Francisco for my cousin's wedding. Can't remember the year that was. Maybe 2010. And LJ and I went to San Francisco for this wedding. And after the wedding, I said, listen, let's drive down the coast. So we rented a car. We postponed our tickets. We told the people there was a storm in New York, like a hurricane. So we got on the phone with the airlines, and I called the airlines and said, listen, we just want to make sure that you guys were going to get back to us about what date we were going to have our plane. And they were like, what are you talking about, sir? You missed your flight. And I was just like, no, I got a voicemail. And the voicemail said that my flight was canceled due to the storm. But what was true was that they called to tell me that my flight was going to still happen. But the moment I said to her that I got the call that the flight wasn't going to happen, she was like, oh, okay. Well, that was a wrong call, because all it is was like human error. So she was just like, no problem. And because we were like, no, we got a call, and they left. We actually got the voicemail here. Can we email it to you? They were like, nah, don't even worry about it. When do you want to come back? Do you want a flight tonight? And then I said, how about in 7 days? And they were like, that's even better, sir. So we drove down the whole coast and then came back. And then we flew back to New York. Oh, my God, it was so beautiful. I fell in love with LJ. You hear me? I fell in love with LJ again. I've fallen in love with that woman 4 times, minimum. And it definitely helps when you take a trip, you know? So, why was I talking about San Francisco and my cousin? Here's the thing. We went to Beverly Hills, and they have these really famous black hair salon. And LJ just had to go. She's like, I want to go there. We went there like 3 days in a row, and they were closed every day we went by. And what's interesting is that when we finally, the 4th day, was like, let's go and see if or maybe the 3rd time. And when we got there, we were like, yeah, we've been by here twice. 3 times or whatever happened. They were like, I don't know why. We here, we open. And we were like, oh, we came to the gate. Nobody was here. Mind you, we were there like at 12, 1, 2 in the afternoon. And they were like, no, we were here. We don't close to 5. It was like, I don't know. But we didn't argue or anything. But, I saw the picture of me. Wow. I had no neck. My neck was non-existent. It was like some weird, it was some sort of weird thickening of the neck. It was very bizarre. It was like, whoa. I saw that picture 30 times. I've never noticed that I had gained a weight like that. Never, ever did I notice that. So, I get those young ladies who suffered from, what is that? What are they suffering from? Oh, the bulimia. I'm not sure if it was the bulimia or it was anorexia, but I remember seeing these young ladies just like, I could lose more weight. And I never noticed it. And I noticed me now. I see the way I really truly look. I notice me. And it's a little freaking scary to imagine that my mind kept telling me that everything was okay. What's up with that? It's like intermittent fasting has helped me, I'm telling you, it's helped me separate who I am from this avatar that I'm using to push me around. It's like the person that I am is starting to separate from the brain machine that pushes this avatar. And I am now being able to see quite clearly who I am. I stood in front of the mirror yesterday, and I was not clothed, and I looked at myself. I took like a really long look at myself, and I was like, yo, you got a long way to go, man. Like, it might not be the worst thing in the world to jump on that elliptical. And so what? You can't do 2 hours. Do an hour. Do 30 minutes. So I have to keep it real. I'm starting to think about the gym lately. And is it because of my vanity, my vainness? Because, I guess I am very vain, to to some degree. I care about the way I look. I'm never in the mirror like that, you know. If I look in the mirror twice a day, that's a lot. You know, I wash my face, I brush my teeth, I blow my nose. I might even check for some eye boogies later on, but I haven't done that yet today. I should have done that before the video, maybe. Well, I look pretty good. Little nose hair in the way. But I'm not vain where I'm all in the mirror. I'm not all in the mirror like that. I'm not all in the mirror. Right now I'm looking at myself because I have it on selfie. And I am considering working out not for my health, but for the damn love handles, for the, you know, for the flat butt, for the, you know, for the man boobs, you know. It's like, not only don't I want to be fat, I want to freaking look good. Is that thoughts seeping into my head, messing with me? Or is that who I truly am? Is my consciousness vain? Is my consciousness vain? Is my true self vain? Wow, I never even thought about something like that. Thank you for being here with me for this question. I have no answers for this. I mean, I'll ponder this. I'll, you know, come up with something, but is the true self that I am, that's separating itself from its computer and all the lies and all the thoughts that telling me that everything is fine, you're good, you don't have to worry, eat that again, eat some more sugar, eat some more bread, eat some more, you don't have to worry about the 8 hours, push it to 10 hours, not a big deal, you just make it up with, you know, fasting for 17 hours. No big deal. And then when you get to your 15th hour, you're like, yeah, you said 17 yesterday, but don't even worry about it. Those thoughts, those evil thoughts that I'm convinced are not me, that doesn't represent me, that are just these ideas that are just traveling and trying to find a host and suck on the subconscious. But is who I am my true self? Is my true self vain? And does my true self want to work on the back fat? Wants to, you know, hit the gym so that, you know, the stomach will go down so that he'll look better in his clothing? You know, it's because I'm like battling with this whole idea that this is some sort of healthy versus looking good, and the choices that we make in that process. Do I want to be healthy or do I want to look great? Because I'm sure people would come back at me and there will be some pushback that says, dude, you know, it's all about your heart, because you look at somebody that look healthy but they could drop dead. And I know this. I know that's a real thing. You know, I know that's a real thing. But is my consciousness vain? Is my true self vain? I would say yes. And I would say that the brain has tricked my consciousness. I was talking to LJ, and she was saying how when we first met, she was like, when we first met, you would just order some sauteed vegetables with white rice, and you would eat that for like a week. And I was like, Oh, yeah, I remember that. And then she was just like, and you always had vegetables. You know, I still always have vegetables, but, you know, I didn't eat a lot. Then I started to eat a lot, and I got so fat. And then I kept eating for many, many hours throughout the day and didn't work out enough. But my whole point is, at what point did I stop letting my consciousness, the person that I am, my true self, when did I stifle my consciousness? When did I stifle my true self? I don't know. When did it happen? Because when I listen to mainstream media, I just had a thought run through my head. Now you're going to sound crazy. You know, I just think about, like, you know, when I was listening to mainstream media and believed everything that I saw, I was in better shape. I worked out more. It seems like once I looked around and said, maybe this is not all that it's cracked up to be, and I started to recognize that, and this was all 2016. This is all new for me, you know. But here's something interesting, though. Yes, I got really fat in the last 2 years, but back in 2010, I was fat. My neck was really, really fat. Man boobs probably was popping. It's like I didn't even know I was fat. I got a lot to think about. Help me out here. Somebody tell me something. Why is it a little sad, actually, telling myself that my true self is vain? Why is the vanity thoughts not just evil thoughts that I need to shake off and be more in the moment and not think about all that stuff? This kind of reminds me of the talk that we had about my ego mind, and the ego mind being able to, you know, still be present and helpful instead of being present and hurtful and in the way and things like that. So I don't know. Is my true self vain? Help me out. Help me out. I need you. Is that even something like I've never considered? I never even thought about. I never even pondered on, and I'm going to. I'm going to consider, like, what's going on with that, and I'll share. And hopefully this is something that you might share as well. Appreciate you allowing me the opportunity to take a moment and press the record button and look into basically like a mirror and have this discussion. Boom.